Hi, my name's Steve Hard, Head of Medical at Portsmouth Football Club.
Regan Poole, centre back at Portsmouth Football Club.
So Regan injured his left anterior cruciate ligament injury on the 5th of November in a cup game. Challenging with a striker, just got nudged off the ball, just landed awkward on that knee. Didn't feel right immediately, came off. Didn't have his surgery till the 29th, so it was a good 3.5 weeks. Reason being was to get him more comfortable, get the swelling down, get his range of motion back and work on his muscle so it didn't waste. So we are now just over 3 weeks post-op, and as well as range of motion exercises, we're working on reducing muscle wastage.
When the injury first came about, it was something that was a shock to me. The injury didn't feel too bad at the time. I think everyone watching didn't think it was going to be too bad either. I felt fine afterwards. I wasn't on crutches, I was walking okay. I've never been injured before, so for me to find the news out that I actually did that was, such a shock.
So with this injury, he's injured his ACL. That ACL is gone now, it's been ruptured. We haven't repaired it, it's actually been removed. And we've used a hamstring graft to basically make this new ACL. So even though it's come from Regan, it's a foreign object. It's got a new role to play now, so part of his rehab now is introducing that into his body as such. A lot of people ask how long, but how long it is for me to recover, you to recover, Regan to recover will be different. So we need him to be able to do certain tasks, reach certain criteria before we move on to the next stage. And that's the same with any injury. This is going to be a long process, 9 months. We've already factored in having a break, having a holiday after 2 months. It's hard work, but you need your breaks, you need your time away, not just for your body, for your mind as well. As regards treatment, yes, we will do it, but I like most of my work to be done in the gym. But some of the things we will do at the minute where we're trying to get full knee flexion, we do stuff like patella mobs, because where he's had the operation and he's had some swelling and he hasn't got that range, this can get like bogged down. And it runs in like a groove, it's like a pivot. So if that's bogged down, just doing some simple movements, top and bottom, inside, outside, just slowly moving it can help free it up and it can just aid that knee flexion. Another thing we'll do where he's had his stitches out last week, 2 weeks post-op, they've healed over now. So what you can do with the scars, because sometimes where they go through, they can be quite sensitive. You can get numbness where they cut through the skin, cut through the sensory nerves. So just using moisturiser cream, this is bio oil, but you can actually do some work, just gentle work on the scars. So even that's quite tender and I'm hardly pushing, I'm literally pushing that hard. Now normally with people, what you'll find is the knee will be flat on the bed and the heel will come off the bed. Regan doesn't do that on his uninjured knee. So that's where you have to obviously, we're trying to get equal between left to right. So things that you can do is just gentle. You can support that with a towel. So you find that's quite uncomfortable. I'm very gently. So you can be in different positions when you do it. You can have your hands here, have that raised up on a towel, and you ever so gently just push it down into extension. So on here at the moment, I'm just using this more for a warm up and a cool down, just to help with his range of motion. But within a matter of weeks, we're using this for his actual CV, cardiovascular sessions as well. So to get on here a week, 10 days after the operation was very good. He's had no reaction from it. He's probably going to hate the sessions we give to him in a few weeks' time, but it'll all be worth it in the end.
I've kind of taken a step back away and kind of tried focusing on looking forward and being positive away from social media and stuff, but their support doesn't go unnoticed. I've seen it and obviously I'm thankful for them.
With any injury, you want to get the range of motion back. So this exercise here, this terminal knee extension with a band, we want to try and get that full extension of his knee. And when we're doing it as well, he's getting some muscle work as well when he comes back into extension. So this exercise here, Regan was doing this version of it probably within a week. There was a version before where he's on the bed and you'd have a towel underneath his knee. But this is quite an important one just to get that full extension. So on this one here, we're using the Physique glute band. This is a blue resistance. There's a stronger resistance above that. So we're working his glutes here. So it's not just a case of working the quad, the hamstring, the calf. We're working his glutes, core and other exercises. But he's had a procedure on the outside, which is quite common with ACL reconstruction now, called a lateral tenodesis, where they take a strip of your IT band, loop it around your lateral collateral ligament just to tighten up the outside of your knee. That can sometimes be the more sore post-op than the actual knee itself. So Regan now is doing what we call contralateral leg. So he's actually using the unaffected leg. So this was something he was doing before the operation, and it was something he was doing after the operation, because we're working this leg and you'll get a crossover effect onto the injured side. All right, so left leg off the floor. And he goes from that position, push up. So this is more for your glutes, your glute max. So we've worked quads, we've worked hamstrings, we're working glutes. You can also do single leg calf raises to work that right side as well. So if you go into your bodyweight squats, so the bar's there just mainly for balance, for support, but it's only fingertip. He's not like clinging onto it. He's got the mirror for feedback. And he's just literally going down into his squat there. So he can do that body weight. Something else that we will do with him are called confidence questionnaires. So there's quite a few questions on it, so you won't remember what you've done before, so it's unbiased, and that's quite a nice one where you can track, and it does it on a percentage, and hopefully it should go up. Things progress scientifically. What I did years ago, you might not do now. But one thing I have found with the ACL rehab and with research, years ago, if I go back 20 years, the aim was, can we get the player back in 6 months? So they might have been training after, say, 4.5 months. But now what the research is saying, if we take that little bit longer, like the 9 months, so when we get to 6, if we take an extra month, 7, 8, 9 months, for every month, we're reducing the risk of re-injury, because what you'll find with a lot of our rehab, it's predictable. I tell you to go in there and do 12 reps, you do 12 reps. But when you come back to train with other people, it's chaotic. If I'm doing rehab with Regan, I'm just passing the ball. He knows I'm passing the ball to him. But when you've got all the players around you, you don't know where the ball's coming from. If you've got the ball, you don't know if someone's going to attack you from behind. So it's chaotic. So that's the bit we slightly delay on, where we'll get quad hamstring strength on both legs. There's ratios that we follow, compare left to right. Is he at a level? And we'll use that when he starts to run, when we give him the green light to go back and train. So here now, the injury was November. The operation was the end of November. So we will be looking at around the end of July. So he'll be back in amongst it with the players around pre-season time, but won't be playing in those initial fixtures. But the good thing is he'll be on the grass. He'll be in amongst it. And we've just got to hold back and then get him ready. Get some games under his belt. 5 days a week. We're doing morning sessions, afternoon sessions. When it gets to 8 week post-op and he sees the surgeon for like a standard review, you've got a week, 10 days off. Get yourself away. So the next sort of stage and the next part of his rehab, obviously we want to build up his muscle on this side, get him stronger, work on his range of motion. But then we'll be doing stuff like plyometric exercises, so making it quicker, some jumps, so he has to have the strength to do it, but we start going into that and building that up. And then generally we'll be looking at around the 3-month mark to be running, whether that is in the pool, whether that is on an autogy gravity treadmill, and then the main thing is to get out on the grass after that. So that will be within the next 3 or 4 weeks, we'll start to increase his rehab.
Anyone that's going through a tough period, you know, I've been there the last month or so. You know, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. I've seen that for sure. You know, you always need to focus on what's the main positive and what's the main goal. It's not the end of the world. It's not ideal for sure. But you know, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and I will return and play for Portsmouth Football Club again, which is nice. Hopefully in the Championship.
Yeah.